We're back with another edition of TMO Live, the Media Online's video series where we ask newsmakers the tough questions and explore the hot topics. I'm the site's multimedia journalist, Michael Bratt. The Association for Communication and Advertising has been doing a lot recently to further enhance transformation in media. Joining me to discuss these efforts is the organization's CEO, Odette van der Haar. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you, Michael.
The fundamental question, have media organizations done enough to promote this agenda?
I do believe media organizations have made an effort. Whether or not that effort is enough remains to be seen. This journey to transform the sector started in 2000 when the industry was called before Parliament to report back on the rate of transformation. And the industry's commitment was enshrined in what is today known as the MAC Charter, which was gazetted in May this year. Finally, a 16-year journey culminated in the promulgation of this charter, meaning that it is now written into law, and it has more stringent codes and more stringent targets than the generic codes for BBBE in South Africa. I believe that is a firm commitment on the part of the sector. We do have until 2018 to achieve those targets, which will be the first real milestone in terms of measuring the real transformation or the acid test in terms of where transformation is in the sector.
Are the targets realistic? You said we have until 2018, and they are higher than other industries.
Absolutely.
Are they realistic?
Absolutely. The charter was first promulgated under Section 12, which meant that it was a best practice guideline in August 2008. The sector has been made well aware that the charter will eventually be promulgated under Section 9 and be written into law. So any agency worth their salt had already started on a transformation strategy and put in place efforts to meet the targets or get to as close as those targets as possible. Between now and 2018 really is a formal measure of the efforts since 2008.
So what has the ACA been doing recently in order to step up the promotion of transformation?
Well, we launched Project Vuselela. Vuselela means rebirth, renew, revive, in order to relaunch our transformation effort as such upon the birth of the Charter as a formal legislated Section 9 sector code. We took captains of industry away for 2 days to address the heart and soul of transformation, the psychology and the rationale, and to get them to understand the real reason why we need to transform, which is not about equity deals. It's not about promoting people up the ranks because they are a different skin color. Transformation is about owning the sector as one that is truly South African and ensuring that the sector that influences everyone in society in South Africa is truly representative of the South African demographic.
You said the media organizations should have already been working towards the transformation agenda. In the short term, what is the plan for those organizations?
Well, in the short term, it is to look at where they were in the old codes in terms of what level they were at, and to gauge where they were in terms of the targets for each of the pillars of the Charter, which is the same as the generic, but bar one, we have an additional pillar, and to see what needs to be done in order to close the gap, if there is a gap. I believe closing the gap from the generic to the MAC Charter's targets, a 2-year window is certainly enough to get those plans in place. And I think any agency right now would be doing just about that, seeing where they are in terms of the MAC Charter, comparing that to where they were on the generic Charter, seeing if there are any gaps, and then putting in place budgets and plans and strategies in order to effect a rapid achievement of the new targets.
What is that additional pillar?
The additional pillar is called RSM, Responsible Social Marketing. This pillar really enshrines self-regulation. The sector is and always has been self-regulated in South Africa. And really what it does is it demonstrates to government that the sector is responsible about its marketing and communications. It allows agencies to be incentivized through points on the BBBE scorecard for not receiving adverse rulings from the Standards Authority, for not being irresponsible about their marketing communications, and for taking on some responsible messaging pro bono and investing some in making the public aware of some of the strategic issues identified by government in terms of their national development plan.
What can people expect from the ACA in the beginning of next year, the short-term plans from your organization to further enhance the transformation agenda?
The ACA plans to do a rerun of the 2 days where we took the captains of industry. Some captains of industry who were not available during the first run would like to do it. So we'll be kicking off with the rerun of the 2 days. We will also be taking that 2-day session into individual agencies. So each agency will have that training specifically for themselves in their own teams. And really, this is what we will be doing. We'll also be contributing to the sector council and playing our part as the industry watchdog to ensure that we report back to government and contribute constructively to the sector council.
What has the reception been like for those 2-day workshops initially?
It was amazing. I think even myself, when I went, I had a little expectation that it might be one of those, normal diversity management and cultural workshops. We've all been on them. And what it really was a renewal of the mind, an opening of the eyes to see our colleagues whom we work with and who we know through almost different eyes, and where we were able to meet each other as people first, without any baggage of designations, race, gender, anything like that. And I believe that it facilitated the bridge that is needed in terms of communication in order to now foster transformation in our environments. As individuals, I think we had a bit of a life-changing experience. I know that we had some testimonials from some of the people who attended, and they did say that it was the highlight of their year. They said that they were blown away in terms of the experience themselves, not because it was fun, but it was really a unique experience that allowed us to self-reflect and to identify our own private thoughts that could be influencing behaviors. And it's allowed us to walk away with a self-checking mechanism. So we're kind of conscious of what we say and why we say certain things sometimes, and how it could offend the next person, irrespective of who they are, what gender, what race they are. It just has put us in check, I think, as human beings, when dealing with other human beings in a respectful and mindful manner. And I think that is the basis of transformation. It's to transform your own mind first, to transform your own behaviors, and then to accept and to meet people as people first, and then to move forward.
Well, I hope that the workshops next year are just as successful as the ones that happened already.
We certainly hope so.
And thank you so much for being here and sharing those insights with us.
It's
really
been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
That was Odette van der Haar. She's the CEO of the Association for Communication and Advertising. Until next week, it's goodbye from me.